Hey guys, Mike here. So I wanted to fill you in on this little theory that I have that I think it's correct. And it's basically this. It's that nothing is hard. Nothing is all that difficult. And I think I get that from, a couple different places. I've got a buddy who says something like, I can't remember exactly how he says it, but he says something like, what one man can do, another man can do, that kind of thing. So, there might be something that, like, maybe you're not doing, something you want to do, but there's like a fear in you, or I hate to use that, just fear. It's more of like you just don't know. Like I don't know. Like you want to do something but you don't know how, or you want to do something but you don't know where to begin, or you want to do something but you're afraid you're gonna make mistakes or you're gonna fail. But the truth is that, all of those are absolutely fun, like absolutely going to happen, but they're not things like that should prevent you from doing a thing, right? So what happens is when you go to do something, you learn to fly on the way down. And this isn't like true for some people and not true for others. This is true for everybody. For everybody. It doesn't matter what it is. You go to do something like a new job or a new career, say, or maybe you want to start a business, or you want to learn to dance, or whatever it is. Like, everybody starts at the same place. And this is important, I think, for like children, because I see this thing in children sometimes where it's like they feel like they should be good at something like automatically, and I don't know where they're getting that from. I haven't really thought about trying to break that down, but it's just not the way that it is. Nobody outside of like, say like, I don't know, running, right? Like sprinting. There's some people that are maybe like born naturally better sprinters than other people, right? But I'm talking about like something like starting, like, just say like starting a business, for example, okay, or starting a new career, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Like, we're going to go do something. Everybody has to start from zero. Like, you just like, there's no natural talent for learning how to cook. There's no like natural talent for I don't know, like learning how, like mowing the grass, or there's no like natural talent even for something like recreational stuff like fishing, right? Nobody's just naturally good at those things. You start at the bottom and you work your way up, like kind of like like a video game or something. Like you start off and you're like, dude, I'm terrible, but the more you put into it, then the better you get. The same thing for anything. Could be chess, could be pool, could be, anything. And I brought up sprinting, but there's a difference between somebody who is naturally gifted at sprinting and someone who is like a gold medalist sprinter, okay? Like that's a different thing, right? The gold medalist sprinter that had to start again at the bottom of sprinting. Maybe their body is built in such a way where they're naturally perfectly built for sprinting, but they still have to start at the bottom and learn how to become the best at that thing. Or like me, for example, like I had like some genetic research done, and like my particular body type because I'm like short and stocky, and I put on muscle fairly easily. Like I'm what is the middle one? It's like a mesomorph or something like that. So I am genetically predisposed to be able to lift heavy weight. Okay? But there's a difference between my body being genetically able to lift heavy weight and, like, you know, doing the you know, winning the weightlifting thing at the Olympics, right? That's different. It's different. Okay? But I mean, those are all, you know, kind of like physical things. But there's things, anything you want to do, you just start doing it. That's it. Like, you just start doing it, and then you figure it out as you go. And that's the same thing that everybody else has done. Everybody else that has done a thing that isn't like one of these naturally gifted type things, they just started, and they figured it out as they went along. They weren't an expert. You know, I don't even know that I believe in expertise per se. You could be more of an expert, but I don't know that anybody is like an expert, you know, because there's always more shit. That's one thing too, like, that, you know, that you come to realize as you get older, is it doesn't matter what it is. Man, it doesn't matter what it is. There are levels. There are levels. We were on vacation one time, and there was a guy who was, this is the most simplest ass shit ever. He was doing the caulking, right? So like caulking around a window, right? With the caulk gun and doing around the window. This dude was like a professional caulker. Like hit the job that he was doing looked like, I mean, like it looked amazing, right? My caulking looks like shit, you know, but I imagine that if I had put in the time and the dedication to this expertise of caulking, that eventually, like, mine would look comparable to his, you know? But like, there's levels, right? You would never thought like that there's levels to stuff. Like, even like say for example, like running a chainsaw or something, like cutting a tree down. Dude, there's levels. There's so many levels, from beginner of tree cutter down person, and the damn somebody who could put the tree where they want it, like every single time or whatever, right? Or it's like the most efficient. And that's what happens over time, is if you're any good at a thing, you pay and you actually progress at a thing, you're not just stagnant, you learn how to do these things in the most proficient manner possible. It just happens naturally from like trial and error. So that's kind of the same, you know, it's kind of the same thing like with jiu-jitsu, right? So when you first started with jiu-jitsu, you're using like 100% of your strength and 100% of your effort to do just the most, you know, basic things, and you're still getting smashed by people that look like they're putting in no effort at all. And it's because they've been where you were, and they figured out how to do the thing with the minimal amount of effort. But it takes a lot of trial and error to get there. You know, like, you know, you look at like some of the highest level black belts, when they roll with somebody like that's a white belt or a blue belt or whatever, it looks like they're doing it effortlessly. It's like lazy rolling. And that's kind of like what it's called. It's like it looks like they could hold the person down with their thumb. You know what I mean? Which, that's an exaggeration, but it looks so effortless. But it's because they've had to figure out, that's sort of what jiu-jitsu is. It's like figuring out the most proficient way of whatever position or transition or whatever it is that you're doing. And it's the same thing with everything. Like running a business. Nobody knows how to run a business when they first start out. You don't know shit. You don't know shit. And then through mistakes, you learn how to do things more proficiently. And hopefully your mistakes don't cost you hugely. You know, like you're gonna have some fuck ups, you're gonna make some mistakes, but hopefully those are mistakes that you can correct and not something that's gonna completely run you aground, you know. But it's that way in everything. Why do you think it takes like 12 years to become a surgeon? It's not because the amount of shit you gotta learn takes 12 years to learn. It's because you have to demonstrate a high proficiency in what you're doing before somebody's gonna let you do it to them, right? Or before they're going to give you freedom to do it to other people that like on your own without supervision, you know. So don't like. I guess what I'm trying to tell you is like, don't worry about fucking up. Don't worry about fucking up. The fuck up is like you just learn from fucking up, and sometimes they're painful. Earlier today, I watched my toddler. She was stirring some shit up, and then she hit herself in the eye, and she like kind of flipped out, and she was like, oh my God. And then I told her, you know, and of course she doesn't understand what I'm saying, but I'm like, look, like that's gonna happen, right? And it may happen again, but you're gonna learn like why it happened and how to keep it from happening, right? So next time she goes to stir something, maybe she doesn't hit herself in the face, right? Or maybe she does, and then it takes her a while to learn from it, you know, whatever. But it's the same with everything. It's literally the same with everything. So don't, all this, you know, fear about starting something or fear about, you know, just do it, because everybody had to do the same shit. Everybody started at the same place. Nobody becomes a proficient at anything without starting from the bottom and fucking that shit up a bunch of times, and eventually they learn how to fuck it up less. You're probably never not going to make a mistake, but you'll learn how to like prevent mistakes by seeing them in the future ahead of time, right? And then you can be like strategic, you know, and you can like dodge a mistake, you know. Like I you know, I've fucked up so many things just in my life, like just random stuff, not necessarily like, you know, big heavy topics, but like, and then you learn how not to do them. It's like, or you learn to see them and avoid them, you know, like, oh, better pick up this extension cord so that you know, my child doesn't fall over, or my wife, or me, I don't forget about it and trip over, or, you know, whatever it is, like whatever it is, it could be anything, right? I don't leave the lights on when I leave the house because I don't want to have a $300 electric bill. Like, you just learn from fucking shit up. So like, fuck shit up. Fuck it up. Just start fucking shit up, and then you'll learn how to not fuck it up. And I've said fuck a lot in this video, but yeah, don't be afraid to start something, whatever it is. And maybe you start something and then you realize, oh, this isn't for me. Good. Now you've eliminated something off the list. You've got a list of 100,000 things and you just eliminated one of them. So now you've got 999,999 things left. Okay? So then you start the next one, right? Oh, this one isn't for me. Or maybe it is for you. Maybe you find a secret talent that you didn't know you had. You know? Or maybe you find a bunch of talents that you didn't know you had, and those look good on a resume. Or they, you know, or they turn into a profitable, successful business. Whatever it is. You know? Anything. You got to start somewhere, you know? And, you know, don't just, you know, you can't copy what somebody else does. That's one of these things. Man, these people online, they like to sell you on shit where they're like, oh, just do this. No, motherfucker. No one person can copy exactly what another person is doing to be successful. You can't. Like, you can't. That's not a thing that you can do. Now, maybe you could, like, in the investment market, right? You can copy what the senators and all these people are like investing in and make money, but you know, yeah, even then you're not copying exactly because they're seeing it before you see it. But like, no, but you know, you can't be a carbon copy of somebody else. It's not possible. But what you can do is you can start something, and through fucking it up and learning how to fuck it up less, you make it your own. And then you don't have to be, you're not a copy of somebody else. You've got something completely and totally yours. that you've made and that you've done it your way, and maybe it's a completely, innovative way that now other people want to copy. Of course, it won't work for them, it'll only work for you, but you've created a new way of doing something, and now that could be your ticket to, financial freedom or whatever it is. I don't know, whatever it is, your place in the history books. You think Julius Caesar knew that his tactics were going to work in these battles? Like, he's widely regarded as maybe like the second greatest behind Napoleon battlefield general of all time. Do you think that he knew his tactics were going to work before he did them? No, he didn't know. You can't see the fucking future, but he did something. He innovated and he did new things because he did them and they worked, and that's how we know about them, right? And a lot of people, entrepreneurs, there's Steve Jobs and these guys that did things differently, or that and see how it turned out. So you start your thing and you fuck it up and you sort of figure out how to have your own flavor on it. But the key is to just do it, because there's no sense in being afraid or of those things. What did I say in the beginning? You don't know how to do it, or you're afraid you're going to screw it up, or you don't know what direction to go in. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters, because that's how everybody starts. Every single person. You're not special. You're not gonna just be successful because you were born. It doesn't happen that way. You just start where you are with whatever idea you've got, and then modify it as you go, and eventually you build something unique, and hopefully it helps you to be a better person, help other people, and make some money off of it. Get that fuck you money. That's it.